Hey everyone, this is Mike, Safety Director for Blue Sky Freight Carrier. We are going to be looking at the Garmin Dezl 760 and how to operate it from the driver's seat. As it starts up, it's going to ask us some license agreements. We're going to hit accept. Do not accept inter-route information. Well, you won't have to if you know how to utilize the system, because we will be able to send you addresses to the system so you will not have to manually enter them in. The next step, it says when using the product for truck RV navigation, it is your responsibility to account for your vehicle's height. Not only for your vehicle's height, gentlemen, or women in that case as well, also be paying attention to your surroundings. If things don't look right and you're driving in an area that a truck's not supposed to be in, please call your dispatch. Please call the shipper or receiver that you're trying to either deliver or pick up from to verify you're in the right spot. Do not rely solely on the GPS to get you from point A to point B, because sometimes it can be wrong. So use your best judgment. It has switch mode here. Guys, gals, owner operators, company drivers, we are always going to keep it in truck mode with our fleet. Yes, it can go in an automobile. Yes, it can go into an RV. But for our company, Blue Sky Freight Carriers, these devices never leave the truck. The only time that they leave the truck is when you are showing it to law enforcement or bringing it in to get repaired or looked at by the safety director within the company. But for no other reasons are these devices to be taken home. To leave the truck, they are to stay in the truck at all times. So we're going to hit save. But if you ever wanted to buy your own device and leave the company, you can change it to whatever it is that you want to utilize it for. So we're going to agree to this. Initially, when you first set up, your manager, safety director, should set all the verifying truck settings for you. If you just bought your own and you're joining our fleet, you will have to put in the settings, or again, management can set it up for you. I just threw some information in here real quick to show you guys what it looks like. But at any given time, you can change this by going up here. You can do edit. Let's say gross weight. Well, we know that's not right. So we want to do 80,000 pounds and then hit save. Then that's how you do it. And that's a one-time deal. We're going to agree to these things to get to where we need to be. All right.
Please drive to highlighted route.
Well, obviously the GPS is ready to go. We haven't entered in any information, but let's keep moving on. Full signal. It's in truck mode. It is Bluetooth compatible, so you can definitely have it going into your Bluetooth. We got 3:22 p.m. Central Time. At the corner here, you see the power. Okay, that is not plugged into the cigarette lighter. We have a third party that is working with Garmin, which they're called Position Intel, that has a harness that plugs in to the Garmin that gets certain information, that also relays information to the motor carrier company. So when you buy this device, whether you stay with Blue Sky or go somewhere else, that power that you see right now is hooked into the fuse panel, which is hooked into the engine, pulling a lot of information, which that information is needed to be compliant with the ELD rules. If you just go out and buy this device, plug it into your cigarette lighter, and just use the ELD, the electronic logging device system on here, you will not be compliant, because it also has to be hardwired into the truck as well. Okay? So, moving forward, apps. This is where we're going to start our day. Apps. Hours of service. Okay? A driver should be logged in to use this device. Log in now. Yes. So, I made a fake driver ID. All of our drivers within our company have a 4-digit code. My fake ID is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hit next. My password is going to be the same as my ID. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit done. Now it's going to authenticate driver, download my profiles, downloading logs. So what does this mean? This means that I could jump in literally 8 different trucks in 8 different days and touch 8 different Garmins and keep putting in my information, because the system will eventually download my information into each device that I'm in for that day. So I don't need to take the GPS out of every truck. I don't need to do that. I just need to know my driver ID and whatever my password is, and it will download into that system, so I never need to carry any paper logs with me. Alright, now that it's downloaded all my logs and everything, it says learning is fun. Again, that's just a fake name to show you that in that spot, in that little box right up here, should be your name. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on duty, and then I'm going to hit save. At this point, we have different things in here for our logs, which you can kind of go through. It's kind of self-explanatory. Driver ID, learning is fun, all that stuff. All this stuff can be done on the motor carrier's end. There's nothing that you have to enter in. Okay, your motor carriers, once they establish you a driver ID, they should be able to put in the credentials that is needed. Okay, so we can get out of this by pressing the back button, and we would go out and do our pre-trip since we're on duty. Now, if we need to send a message to our motor carrier company, we can do so through this device. I'll show you. Oh, look at that. We have a message. How did we know that? Well, we heard the beep, and right over here, there's a little icon there. It looks like an envelope. So why don't we go ahead and press that thing? But before we press it, let's say we're in a different menu somewhere. We're just playing around, messing around and stuff that probably we shouldn't be into, that's going to get us in trouble. You see the icon still there. That means that even if we try to ignore it, we can't get rid of it. So we have no choice but to touch that little guy. So let's touch it. Wow. Well, what does it say in there? Let's press it. What do you think so far? Well, I think this is pretty nifty if you ask me. I don't need to use my phone and burn up my data plan to message my motor carrier, So what I could do is I can come up here, I can send a reply. Eventually with our company, we'll be able to use quick messages. There's nothing in there yet, but it'll be able to say understood, en route, call me in 10 minutes, something to those effects, something real quick, so you don't have to type it out. But you can just go here and do it the old-fashioned way, and you can just go in here and just type a message back, hit done, send a message, yes. So now that's going to go to your motor carrier company. If you're working for us, that's Blue Sky Freight Carrier. If you're working for someone else, it's whoever they are. Again, this system will send messages back and forth if you have a provider. Our provider is Position Intel. That's how we're able to do it. If you buy this by itself, it will not work. Okay? So we can go back out, do whatever we want to do. If there's a message we want to look at from time to time, we can always go into dispatch, go into messages, we can go into our inbox. There's that pesky message. If we want to get rid of it, we can delete it, hit yes. We want to look at everything we sent out. There's the message we sent out at 3:30. All right, so let's look at what a route icon would look like from our motor carrier, because that's what we need in order to get trucking, right? So again, you don't need any bill of ladings. You don't need to get text messages to your phone. your motor carrier can send it directly to your device. And I'm going to show you how it's done from your end, the driver's point of view. All right. Now you can see up here in the icon, we have a little thing looks like a golf stick or something to that effect. Obviously, I'm not a golfer because I don't know what that pole with the flag is called, but it's definitely not an envelope. And again, same concept. If we're in any other programs, whatever, that little flag doesn't go nowhere. So what does that flag mean? That means it's time to make some money. So let's go ahead and press that little icon. Oh, wrong one. Gonna go into here. Pick up. Well, I put in an address where I'm at right now, and there's a check mark. But if I wanted to go to this place, I could press it. If dispatch put any information, it would be in here. Since there's nothing in there, it's probably a blind shipment, or dispatch just has lazy fingers. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna press go. So it's gonna calculate.
Please drive to highlighted route.
And we're, not too far from where we're supposed to be. So when you get close to your destination, it's probably not going to do it now, but it will say you have arrived at, your stop. And then it'll ask you if you want to go to your next destination. Well, I can't really perform that because we're right where we're supposed to be. But I can always go into dispatch, go into my stops, and right there you go. You have arrived at pickup. Mark as done. So yes, you can't press mark as done. So that doesn't work. So what do? Go up here and you're gonna hit yes. So it says stop or start driving to your next stop. Drop load. So we're gonna hit it here and we're gonna hit yes. Now it's gonna calculate from where I'm at.
Please drive to highlighted route.
To my next point. And it's that simple, guys. That's all we're doing. Remember when you're going out here, to go back in, go into apps, go into hours of service. This would be your name. Press that. Always change your duty status. Once the vehicle is moving, it will put you in driving if you do not select it. But please make sure you do it. You cannot edit these things. So make sure you are logging what you do. So I'm going to hit cancel. Go out here. And yeah, it's pretty much that simple. You go back to view. For those of you that are looking for your miles, you can probably figure that out if you go through some of these different key features here. Here it is. So you can set your trips, your average, information, moving distance, all that stuff is here. So those of you that say, oh, I don't have a speedometer, that's your speedometer. These are the miles, that you drive, so you can reset fields. You can do trip B. Let's just do select all. Or, you know what? Let's do just trip B, reset. So over here in trip B, it's 0. So I can keep trip A all my miles. If I go in here and I want to do all, I'm gonna just sit here, select all, hit reset. Now everything is 0. So that's where that information is. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's going to be some other changes added to this, but primarily that's how you do your hours of service. When it comes to your fuel, I know you guys love holding on to your fuel receipts, so I'm going to show you a way that you're not going to like to get rid of them. And what we're going to do, we're going to go into apps, we're going to go into logging, we're going to say, hey, we're at the pump. This is after you pump your fuel. Go pay for your fuel, come back in your truck. Before you hit your brakes, you're going to come back and you're going to go into IFTA at the pump. How much did we get? Let's say we got 700 gallons. We're going to put 877, and it's going to tell you where you at. It's a GPS. It knows. So let's just say we're here. Enter new purchaser. Nope, just me in the truck. And then we're going to hit save, and then you're done. Now, I know this is going to break your heart, but at this point in time, this is where you can throw those receipts away. You'll never have to bring those into me. All right? So then you just hit save, and then you go back to what you're doing. All right? Any questions, feel free to contact me. Send me a message on your device. If you work for Blue Sky, if you work for another carrier, it's not going to work. Otherwise, you know where to find me. Drive safe, be safe, and remember, always stay alert. Don't let the Garmin do the driving for you. Have a great day. Bye.